it's Bernadette. I am here with your Leo Tarot reading for January 2021. And I had to sit with this for a second, cannot tell a lie, because when I saw what was going on planetarily, and I just took a look at the symbolism and meaning of the oracle card that came out. It's an oracle card rather than a tarot card that came out, and the spirit totem and power animal that came out along with Leo. I was like, okay, well, let me figure this out. And I don't know why I ever do that. I don't know why I just don't go, okay, animal allies and everybody out there, just bring me the stuff. I don't know why I try so hard to figure it out myself. It never works very well. But the second that I opened my mind to bringing the download in, I was like, of course that makes perfect sense. What was I trying to think? The wrong thing. So, mermaid is the spirit totem and power animal that's come out for Leo today, for your tarot card reading for this month. And, Leo is such a fire sign. And everything that's going on this month for you guys is, it's just more of the same. It's just more fire. It's just more, the ruling planet, your ruling planet is the sun, and it's like all of this crazy stuff going on that's just going to bring you even so much more bravado and power than you normally have. It kind of seemed like, well, sweet mermaid, how's that really going to fit in? But when you read stories of mermaids, they're accused of all kinds of stuff, bewitching men and enchantresses and causing shipwrecks and, being able to fish with King Neptune. And they're badass, y'all. They're badass. Well, that's also a call for the feminine divine. And it certainly has to do with diving deep into the emotions, because it's water and dirt. Wait till I even get to the main, right? The whole main blew my mind. And when you take a look at what is going on, full moon goes into Leo on the 28th, right? And that is absolutely about connecting with your own feminine nature. And that can mean in a lot of different ways. Like, I was looking around my house the other day. I work a lot. I say in my videos, I don't know if I'm like confessing or what I'm doing, but I'm a straight up workaholic. Always have been. And I always will be. And I stopped feeling bad about it because I love what I do so much. It's not even work. It's like I live the most charmed life ever. I get to get up every day. I own my own business. So if I don't want to get up that day, I don't have to, but I always do. And I do nothing but create and work with and talk to amazing, amazing, amazing people like you guys, all you wild ones, and all my beautiful souls over at Beautiful Souls, and all my witchy poos over at, witchesandwitchcraft.com. And, I just get the best of all the worlds, from shamanism to hardcore metaphysics to space to, to everything in between. And that is, when you're thinking about drawing down your feminine divine, that kind of thing is considered a little more masculine, sillily enough. And I think we're breaking those glass ceilings all over the place, obviously. But it's really considered a little more masculine. And I've got a terrible, although the flip side of it is pretty good, competitive streak. And I'm going into all this stuff because that's very Leo. It's very Leo to be competitive and want to win and have that more masculine kind of thing. But the huge call of mermaid, and it's water element, and that's considered more feminine because it's about the emotions. And listen, I know the world is changing, and so some of these symbolic meanings, things that I talk about, may seem a little archaic to you, because they are, but they're archaic for a reason. And they're not, who knows, 150 years from now, nothing could be about masculine or feminine, and they rewrite all of astrology and they rewrite all the zodiac signs. It's entirely possible. And if it's right for that time, it's right for that time, right? But anything that you're going to do this month, anything that you're going to do, no matter what gender you identify with, is going to call for you to tap into, utilize, because it is right there in your face. Use me. I'm here for you. Something that brings a more feminine divine energy. Now, what's the difference between feminine divine and just plain old feminine? Okay. What's the difference between a girl and a woman? What's the difference between, a housemaid and a queen? Theoretically, there's no difference. Everybody should be created with equal opportunity, right? That's what the world should be like. We know this. But just in terms of archetypes, what's the difference? The difference is the divinity part. Now, we're all part of the great divine, right? But suspend suspend your disbelief just for this card, just for this tarot reading. Okay, Leo? Because I just can't get it through enough about the feminine thing that you're supposed to attach to this month and allow in, but it's also about the divine feminine that you're supposed to allow in, which let me just go to the hair thing, and then I'll jump back to some other things I probably should have covered sooner. But so, lions are known for this glorious golden solar halo that just surrounds them, which is their mane. I think in anime, or I'm fascinated by mermaids. I'm triple Scorpio. I grew up, my God, I grew up in the water, right? So I live in Florida. I'm surrounded by water. There's nothing I love more. Sometimes I'll even get out in my yard because I don't have a pool where I am now. I used normally near a river or a pool. I'll just turn the hose on myself because I'm just like, oh, water. And sometimes I'll take 3 showers a day because I'm like, oh, water. But when you take a look at all of the artwork, especially classic artwork with mermaids, they've all got this glorious mane, no matter the color, red, blonde, some iteration of gold, brown, it doesn't matter, but it's this just beautiful flowing kind of thing. So there's going to be something, and I love the Native American, they feel things through their hair, kind of like when you saw the movie Avatar, they feel things through the end of their hair. This reading may be as simple as it's time for you to grow out your hair, your COVID hair, grow out your COVID hair. But I don't think so. I think this has something to do with your sensory and what you're surrounding your head with. What colors are you surrounding it with? What sensories are you using? Are you allowing your crown chakra to work? Are you allowing your third eye to work? That hair will extend oftentimes through the throat chakra and down over the heart chakra. Some people have it down past their solar plexus chakra. I don't know how you function like that, but they do. So there's just got to be a call about what you're surrounding that with. What are you feeling? What are you thinking? What's coming into you? And realize that that is a glorious thing that's happening for you. It's not your average intuition. It's not your average thing that's happening. It's like really heightened because you've got the water element, and now you've got Leo, who just is the big show off. You guys are the big show offs of big show offs, and that's awesome. I love your motto, which is "I will." Yes, I will, because that's what a Leo is all about. But you guys, listen, for all of your roar and your snarf and your swatting at people, you really are the biggest humanitarians. You're just like, I'm ready to protect and serve. And, listen, that's you being the king of the jungle. That's you leading the pride. And we get that. And there is a call for you to still keep doing that very much in January. But for your particular zodiac sign, it's you're headed out of like this kind of, I hate to give them a bad rap, but listen, Capricorn, my sister's Capricorn. I wouldn't say she's stodgy, but she's certainly set in her ways, as forward thinking and as wide-minded as she is. She's Cappy. So we're headed out of that into Aquarius, and that is going to make you feel, for any of you Leos that are like, oh, I know I'm a Leo, but I'm uncomfortable stepping into the spotlight, I'm uncomfortable taking the lead. Not anymore, not this month. And especially if you bring forth that nurturing and compassionate and intuitive side of you. Mermaid is considered like the ambassador of civilization beneath the sea, right? And that is going to have some association with Atlantis. So if you are like having dreams of Atlantis, or you're having dreams about underwater cities, especially if you're having dreams about earth animals down in the, in the underwater city, you may being called, because you remember, mermaid is half fish and half human. And the reason she's a spirit totem and power animal is not because she's half fish, but because she's a complete being. I have long maintained that humans, because we are classified as animals, can be a spirit totem or power animal. And unless somebody can give me, credible proof, otherwise, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So part of you wants to remain logical, in your logical body, which is like the rational part, which is kind of the human part, but then you get to the fish part, which is only inhabits water, whereas humans can live on land, and you can't live underwater unless you're a mermaid or some other such creature, but you certainly can go in and out of the water element, and we seek to all the time very much. So it marries that part of you that's the emotional, the romantic, the sensual, the intuitive, and it marries that with the I gotta go, I gotta save the world, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, that logical, rational, you know, I am the king of the seven seas. Because who doesn't love a good, oh gosh, Pirates of Penzance? Who doesn't love that musical, right? So when you're considering working with mermaid energy this month, I would really encourage you to take a very good look at mermaid and mer people, just at large, because they really are about our higher and lower nature. And just like Leo, man, you guys can be like, did you see that masked man? Who was that hero? There was an angel here. Okay, but you're also the people that will conquer a country no matter what it takes. No matter what it takes or who it takes. Sometimes that's called for and sometimes it's not. But there's such a yin and yang thing going on between the masculine Leo and the divine feminine, mermaid. Again, Leo, even if mermaid hadn't been your card, your tarot card for this reading for January, you even see the divine feminine correlation in what's going on planetarily. So, also, just one very quick thing. Remember, any fantasy animal, any mythological fantasy animal is an amalgamation of someone's imagination, but it's a real thing. Because after so many people have focused on it, spoken on it, done energetic work with it, it becomes a living, breathing entity. So I really hope that if you're new to spirit, totem, and power animals, you won't poo-poo the mythological and fantasy creatures, because they're mythological and fantasy creatures. They're real as you and I are, and some of us can see them and some of us cannot yet. But one day I believe we'll see them all, and they already see us. So I hope that was helpful. Pick up your copy of the Archanimal Tarot and Oracle deck. It is based on the Rider-Waite Tarot, so there are 78 for real tarot cards in there. And then just like Mermaid, which is in the fantasy and mythological pack of the Arc, you get to go into the fantasy realms and the mythological realms, and that's you can make up anything in the world that you want to make up, but that's definitely a license for you to play and just make up and be anything that you want. So, again, I just want to leave you with this. Remember, it's about the divine feminine. It's about the deep emotions. But most of all, it's about what? It's about, it's your time to stay wild.